And then Block Gemara, we are up to Kuf Chav Beis. This is the Gemara for Simchas Teda, and that's time the Simcha. And we'll start from Kuf Chav Aleph on the base on the bottom of the page. Again, we're discussing how they partitioned the land in Eretz Yisrael, and it's quite amazing because you say Madava Have. It doesn't really matter how they partitioned the land of Eretz Yisrael. Nevertheless, the Gemara talks about it in Arichas. And okay, says the Gemara. We have an interesting question. How was Eretz Yisrael partitioned? Eretz Yisrael the Shvatim Iflig, Aydilma the Karkaf Gavri Iflig. Did they divide Eretz Yisrael into 12 sections? Each one was equal to the next, and then they just had a goydel in each shape what they're receiving. And one shavin might have had 62,000 people members. Another shavin might have only had 32,000, but they both get the same shetach, the same size land. And the shavin will be lucky that the people, the individuals, will have double the size of land as the larger shavin. Is that what happened? No. Or every single person received the same amount of land. So a shavin that had 60,000 people and the shavin had 30,000, the shavin of 60,000 had double the 30,000. And yet they still had a geidel, and the geidel was all, a finesse that it worked out exactly each shaver. Which one is it? Toshma coming here, it says in the pasuk that you should divide the land according to a geidel, bein rav, bein ma'at. It doesn't matter that whether you have a lot of people, it doesn't matter whether you have a few people, everyone gets equal. Bein rav, bein ma'at, everyone gets equal. That means the people in the smaller shavet are lucky because they'll get a much larger piece of land. Eshlis. On the top of the page. And the Gemara will conclude that's how it is. Every shavet got the exact same amount of land, and then the people divided it. And I'll have a question on this. I didn't see an answer, but come back to the Tanya, we learned Asida Eretz Yisrael Shetes Chalak V'Shloisha Shvatim. It says in the Baraisa that in the future Mashiach will come, the Eretz Yisrael will be divided into 13 Shvatim. When they came to Israel the first time, Yeshua and his chalkel was divided in 12 shvatim. And they had to pay money. Now, right now, the Gemara thinks, what do you mean had to pay money? Those shvatim, that the people they got bigger pieces of land, and the other shvatim, the people got small pieces of land, had to be compensated. She never said So that was another proof that every shevet got the same amount of land. The shvatim that had less people each individual got bigger pieces, and the shvatim that had more people, each person got smaller pieces. It's not fair. So there had to be some kind of a compensation that the people who got bigger pieces of land would pay off the people, the other shvatim that got smaller pieces of land. That's what we think right now. Or it means that somebody got a better piece of land, better quality land, would pay someone who got, not all soil is as fertile as the rest. So therefore, people who have a more fertile will pay off the people who have less fertile. As we'll soon see. Amar Rabbi Yehuda says, and it seems that Yehuda is supporting that. That the land, one saw of land in Yehuda is equal in value to 5 saw 50 by 50 amas. A 50 by 50 amma piece of land in Yehuda is equal to 250 square amas in Galil. So therefore, that's what Gemara thinks right now. So what do you call it? And the people who and that's how you divide it. Yeah. So therefore, the people who got better quality land, it's not fair, paid off the people who got poor quality land. Furthermore, the Bible says they use the lottery to divide. They use the lottery to divide. But also had to use the Urim Tumim. It says Al Pi HaGoydel. The Goydel spoke. That's the Urim Tumim. Okay, he says, what do you mean? Why do you need both? How did it work? Rashi brings in the Chumash. Elazar wore the Urim Tumim, but Yeshua the king stood right in front of them. The Kalpi Shel Shvatim is a box there of the names of all the Shvatim. The Kalpi Shel Chumin, there was another box there with each section of Eretz Yisrael. Munachil was lying there. Oh, you mechadim Baruch HaKodesh, and this is how it works with Baruch HaKodesh. He would say, the Kohen would say, Zvulun Oila. There was in a box called covered. The next piece of paper we're going to pick up, the little piece of there is going to be the name of Zvulun. And then he says, and Chum Aku Oila Imoy. And then the other box that has the section of land, we are going to pick up the section of Aku. and Torah bekalpi, and they mixed up the piece of paper or the blocks of wood in the box. So Shvatim Bava Zvulun. That's exactly what happened. Kachava, Zvulun's name came up. Torah bekalpi shel Chumin, they mixed up the. That means like scrambled. They mixed up all the pieces, the blocks that have been names on it. The piece of wood, and sure enough, so it's Mamash Ruach HaKodesh. Everyone saw the Chayzer Mechaber Chayzer. The next one is Naphtali. The names are totally out of order. It's to show that it was a real Geidel. Because if it came up Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, the guys think, oh, that's cheating. Clearly, it was a random. And even though it was at random, it picked out exactly whatever he said will happen. So this was not a nest, Lemigna. This was a nest that was showing that it just throws al pi Hashem. Naphtali oile v'tchum genei Yisrael. That's the section. Torah bekalpi mikra shvati v'ol b'yam Torah came up Torah bekalpi v'tchum v'ol b'yam tchum genei came genei. V'chein kol shevet v'shevet. Every single shevet, the same thing happened. Now, the Gemara concludes, as we saw, that every shevet got the same amount. So it's a pella. I didn't have a chance to look in the Mefarshim, but I'm sitting here. There's a pella, the Rashi in Chumash, on the Rashi of Bein L'Ra, Beimat, says, don't forget this Gemara here. He quotes this Gemara regarding the Uriv Tumim and the Geidel, so he's tying to Bava Basra this page, but he learns, Rashi in Chumash learns, that it went by the person. And a Shevet had 6,000 people, another Shevet 30,000, they got double the size of land. The 60,000 people got double the size of land. And even so, says Rashi, they had a Geidel. Why would Rashi learn opposite of the Gemara here? What was Machriach Rashi to learn a Pshut Shel Mikra different than the Gemara here? I don't know. Like it. When Mashiach will come, the land will be divided. What do you mean? Because right now Levi is not counted. Levi got all the miklat, 48 cities, 42 cities, and that's why they got Meiser instead. But Mashiach will come, they will get chalakim. Furthermore, Oilam has in this world, in this world you only have one kind of field. If you have a normal field of grains, you don't have a field of orchard. So the pardes, they love them. Every single person, he has the mountains, he has in the valleys, and he has in the real depths. Remember it says, so Shah Ruven Echad, Shah Yehuda Echad, Shah Levi Echad. So over there, everyone everyone will get a piece in everything. Tasting all the Shem already asked. It says in the other Gemara we had in Bava Kama that everyone got a share in everything. So that's talking about the Shevet. Every Shevet got a piece in everything, but each individual only got, whatever he got a small piece. Everyone will get everything. And it says here clearly, Echad Shar Levi. So Machlekes will show him how to actually learn Echad Shar Levi, that they actually got a share as well. And what happens to the mice? They still get mices, or did they only get a share in outside of Eretz Yisrael, not in Eretz Yisrael, because because in the future we're conquering more lands, or they only get a share in the Zion. In the Zion Ummah, but not the three. Remember the three nations that we didn't capture until Mashiach comes. The Eibush will divide the land himself. And it says that this is how the Eibush will divide it. And Hashem says the Eibush. Tani Mias, what do we see? Clear from the Gemara concludes that it went to Shvatim, not individuals. Each Shevet got the exact same piece of land as the next Shevet. And then they had to work it out within themselves how to divide. Okay, let's say that makes Rashi in Parashat Pinchas difficult to understand. Amamar, we learned. I see that the Shvatim and the preacher Zohar was divided into 13 Shvatim. As Idach Leman, who's the 13th? Who is this 13th? Because Ephraim and Asher then will get us one. So there's only 12. That's Yesus. Who's the 13th? Amar Avchizah Lenasi. You know what the 13th is? Mashiach himself. Mashiach is going to get a chelik equal to every Shevet. It says the pasuk. That's interesting. The one who serves the city, and you know who he's referring to? The leader. The leader is a servant of the community. Yavdu mikosher yisrael. All the shvatim will serve him. So therefore, it means everyone will give him a chelik. That's how he gets an equal share to everybody. Maybe means runger ba'alma. Maybe it just means that we are actually serving physically. We're serving Mashiach. Who should be giving a piece of land? Maybe just serving him. and he brings it for Rabbeinu Chananel that what is Rongar? He said this is Persian. Roin is day, and Gar means employee. Maybe everyone worked for him. Roin Gar in Persian. Why would a puppet use Persian language rather than he's in bubble? I guess it's in bubble itself. The Mr. Aramaic, maybe they spoke Loshan Parsi as well. Anyway, Lois Agadata, it says, says in the pasuk, V'hanois left over lanosi for the leader, mizeh umizeh from him and from him, l'trumas hakodesh v'lachuzas ha'ir and to the inheritance of the city. So therefore, we see that we're talking about achuzas ha'ir. He gets a chelik in the city. V'lein is chalka ella l'ksafim. Okay, you said before that it wasn't divided. Ella l'ksafim. Had to pay money. What's this money? What's the money for? You got better land, you got worse land. So the guy you got better land has to pay off the guy who worse land. People are going to be happy to accept the poorer land and they get some money. And you'll use up the money in 10 minutes and that's it. And you end up with poorer land. In other words, you might have right now thought each one gets exactly the same size land, but you got better quality, I got worse quality, so you're going to pay me a compensation. Which person is going to accept the same saw, but poor quality, and give me a one-off amount of money? In 6 months, I use up the money, I think we're having more of them, and then you have nothing left. Just to say a poor quality is a Buddhist, and he has idiots. So obviously, it's impossible I should have the idiots. If I have Zabudius and you have idiots, you get one saw, I'll get 5 saw. And that's loy levad, so it's equal in value. So where does Ksafim come in? Even if we have the same quality land, if you're closer to the shrine versus further, there's a mile being closer. First of all, Oiler is much closer. Second of all, safety. Who usually gets attacked? The perimeter, right? And there's far, and the border and the perimeter. But if you're closer in the far less chance to get attacked. So it's worth more money. And that's where the compensation comes in. How exactly the compensation worked in the it doesn't spell out how it worked. So everyone who had good clothes had to pay to a kupa, general. Yeah, how it worked. And they measured each person. So you're a mile away, you're 1.2 miles away. Must have been quite complicated to work it all out. Rabbi Shua says, okay, so the Gemara says now, I skipped the line. Well, Kazanah is actually a machlekes, and they're not arguing based on anything, says the Rashbam, only on Svara. How did they compensate? Rabbi Lezer says, B'ksafim elu. Rabbi said, like it says here, Rabbi Yehuda, that they paid money. And Rabbi Shua says, B'karka elua. They had to give them a little bit extra land. The person who's further away had to receive a little bit extra land. Then it said, everyone received land and so through a goydel. Yotzu exception is Yeshua the color. See, Rashi brings this Gemara down there in Chumash, this little piece right here, and he's a science of the Gemara. And then also about the Unavitumim. Rashi completely is on this page. Lamai, what do you mean? What do you mean that they were not included? They didn't get any land. We learned before yesterday that they received the land from the Meraglim. They took the Meraglim land. They didn't get their own land. Of course they did. They were given directly from the Eibishter. Yehoshua the Chesivit says in Pasuk Al Pi Hashem Nosnuloi. They gave him as a Ir Asher Shol, the city that he asked for. Timnas Sorach Bahar Ephraim. That's the city he wanted, and he got it. The Gemara says, as the Gemara digresses a minute. Here it says this name is called Sorach, but elsewhere it's called Chodem in Har Ephraim. First, before Yeshua became the balabas, the fruit that came out of there was dry, was worthless. Well, the and it's so fatty that if you leave them on the tree too long, they deteriorate. So, in other words, the bracha, because Yeshua was the owner of the land, it changed the whole status of the condition of the land itself. You get our mother say all the way around. First of all, in the beginning, it was what he called Sarah, because Masrich. It just went off. It deteriorated very quickly. But later on, it stayed for a long time. Again, the schus of Yeshua. Kolev, the chsiva yitin lekolev is chevron. They gave him chevron. Kasher dibim Moshe. They gave him chevron like Moshe said. When like Moshe said, no, it came from the Eibishter. And it says, and he chased away from there. The 3 giants. So you might have Chevron, Imiklu, and Imiklu doesn't want anybody. The rosh Gash given to the Zim. But Abaye, Pravra, these are the suburbs of Chevron. It says, they even we learned in Rashi that Chevron was the worst thing at Yisrael. That's why it was the Bava Basra. What's the big bracha that Kolev got Chevron?
I was going to ask that before. We said Yehuda is 5 times the
But
value.
now we say he didn't get it. He only got the suburbs.
We said Yehuda is 5 times the value of Gomer, but Chevron, I think he's in Yehuda, and Chevron, we said, I don't trust him for us.
Yeah,
So
but that might be only one little section. But Yehuda was part of Yerushalayim. Yehuda and Binyamin, they were touching contiguous each other. Anyway, but he got it because he davened, as Rashbam says, he went to Kibbutz Pelo to daven to the Eibishter, so therefore he got it. Says the Mishnah. Echad haben, the Echad about Menachla, the son and the daughter, they both inherit. The Gemara will explain what it's trying to say here. No, the daughter inherits when there's no son. Ella, but so we're talking about the son and we're talking about the son and daughter. Then you say, but haben noitul pishnaim. The son gets the portion from his father's estate. And the egg, it says, "V'loi mishpat hapchoyla," we dash before the loy to the father. But he doesn't get double portion in his mother's estate. Now, it's a bit hard to understand. The Mishnah starts off that the son and daughter. We're talking about the son and daughter themselves, and then you talk about a difference who he inherits from the father, from the mother. So you move from one generation, you move to the next generation. Something's missing here. You will explain. Then it says there's a difference between the sons and the daughter. The daughters, if they're if the what do you call it? If the father dies, then the children must take care of their daughter because this is called a ksubis. So in the ksuba, there's tanai ksuba, and once the ksuba, they'll take care of the daughters till they get married. Till they're going to get married, until she's 12 and a half years old, which is the begetters already, she should be on her own. But till then, they have to support them. And if there's nechasim merubin, the children inherit, and then they have to take care of the daughters. And if there's chasim muatim, the daughters get it, and the children got to go out and knock door knock. Oh, but the ain is only for them, but they don't get from the mother because it's part of the ksuba. So the mother, for the mother's estate, they get the son's only yash in the mother, not the daughter. Gets nothing unless it's only daughters. But this tonight ksuba, a mother doesn't write a ksuba to herself. It's the husband who writes a ksuba, so only from the husband's estate. Says the first of all, what are you trying to nachla? What do you mean? He lame with the yarti had dodi that they both yash together. We know it's not true. And we did have a machlekes, one opinion that in the mother's estate, the son and the daughter are the same. But no one, but in the father's estate, says clearly the Torah. First the son and then the daughter. What do you mean they're the same? And then even though furthermore, the son died and he left behind another son or a daughter they get before the aunt. Well, a few different attempts to try to explain the Mishnah. Comes along and says, this is not Mishnah. Echad haben ve'echad habas, they both inherit noitim bero kibemuchzik. That if the father predeceased, their Zayda. So when their father died, he didn't inherit anything yet from his father because his father was still alive. So at that stage, he's only a row. When this father dies and these children, they inherit the what do you call it? They inherit the row kimuchzik. So the double portion they will get. Let's say the father was a chayv. They will get the double portion of the father, even though at the time the father died, he didn't get the double portion yet. But he's Yodesh Bekevet, or he's like a row, and the din is that by Yerusha, even though we say about Balcha, even though you don't collect by Yerusha, the Chelik B'chayda, you do get even those rows. Talking about that's the Chiddush of Mishnah. We learned before already. We said in the previous Mishnah, we said the doors of Slavcha got 3 portions. What did they get 3 portions? They got one of their father. They got one their father Yashin from the Zayda, and they got one that the father had a double. They got one their father Yashin from the Zayda. They got one a double portion from the Zayda. So we know already that even though the double portion was only a row, they get it. And the third one was the father had a brother who had no children, so his father had a chelik. The uncle, one of the uncles, so his father had a chelik in that. He got 3. So we remember this principle. The father, the father in Mitzrayim, the chelka im echa b'nichzei chever, and also what he got in nichzei chever. We said also if Slavchad left Mitzrayim, if you follow the opinion that says the Yaitz in Mitzrayim, they get their father's own right. But furthermore, if you say 4 chalakim because it was an uncle. This is 3 chalakim. If it's 3 chalakim and you hold Yaitz in Mitzrayim, remember if it's 3 chalakim and you hold those who go there to throw, 4 chalakim to throw. We said there were 2 uncles who died. and Slavcha had nothing of his own. But if you learn L'Yaitzim Mitzrayim, and Slavcha had his own, his father, and the Chelik B'chayda. And where the Braisa says it for, is talking about the uncle. Boy, and furthermore, my Ella changes generations. You're talking about the son and the daughter about themselves, what they're entitled to, and then you move to the father, the mother. That's a dinim about a mother that she doesn't bequeath. It's like you're jumping generations. Ella with a papa. The papa says, "Hachi kamar." The papa is different. They both get a share in the b'chayla. That's the chiddush. They both get a share in the b'chayla. And even though the b'chayla part is wrong, we learned we learned that that if Slavcha was a b'chayla, therefore B'nai Slavcha got the b'chayla share as well. So we already know about the b'chayla share. Not only we know the Yerusha share, which is only a row at the time, because when he died, could be Slavcha died, we don't know, but could be Slavcha died before his father Chayfet, and they get his inheritance. Plus, they get his b'chayla, so we know both. But my Ella, same question. You're jumping generations. Ella Ravashi. Ravashi now we're jumping generation of Ravashi. Hachikam. Echad bein abonim. The echad bas bein abonim. There's one opinion we'll have later on, where Rabbi Yechon Baruch says that if a father says, I want to give my whole inheritance away to somebody else, I don't like any of my children, can't do this. You can't go against the Torah. Master potato. But if he has 5 children, he says, I want to give it 5 boys. I want to give everything to Yankel. So we pass, and you can't. You have to follow what the Torah says. But Rabbi Yechon Baruch says, you can. As long as he is one of the Yoshik entitled to part of it, you can expand it and give him 100%. But you cannot give it to a daughter if there are sons there. So maybe that's what he's saying here. Echad ben abonim, the echad bas ben abonis. Im oma yorish. So we're talking about the following. The yorish says, "Kol nechosai dvar of kayomim." My entire estate should go transfer to this son. It works. Or this daughter, if the only girl is there, it works. The mother came out here. Says later on. We have to say the mission for. He says somebody who's entitled to inherit even part of it, then dvar kayamin. But Amisha ain't a role. If he says I'm going to give to that stranger, then it doesn't work. Or nephew. Maybe the purpose of this mission is because he makes a stam mission. No, because that when you have a stam and afterwards a machlekes, usually the halal, especially it's the same masechta, different masechta is a whole machlekes, but it's the same masechta. Then we don't follow the stam. Why is it mentioned here at all? But then furthermore, my Ella again. What's Ella with change generations? Ella Mamar Baravashi. The Mar. Look how we went through 4 different generations. According to Rashi, Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, not here, but Rashi, another place we had already. Every time Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak is Rav Nachman. Teisha says Rav Nachman bar Yaakov is Rav Nachman. Because we have a number of times in Shas where we had the name of Nachman bar Yitzchak. Teisha says that's not Rav Nachman Stam, that's Nachman bar Yitzchak. But Rashi, that's Rav Nachman, who was a Talmud of Rav and Shmuel and so on. And so you have, look how many 4 generations here in having a discussion on the same Gemara. And Mar Balavashi, Mamish Chassim Shas, he says, it's all one din, it's not 2 din. You should know that they both equally, if the girls are one of the Yashling, they'll get equally like the boys. It makes no difference the mother's estate or the father's estate. Elisha ben. So but Ella is part of the same sense, not 2 different dinim. It's the same thing. But you should know that the ben noitul pishnaim is of the entitlement of chayil is only by the father's estate. The ein noitul shnaim benichsei ein. What am I learned? Losses like pishnaim ke'echad. Now this is an interesting question. What Abchai gets double. There's 2 ways of understanding Abchai gets double. Anybody Abchai? Because this is very interesting. Having in the Gemara here. One opinion is that he gets, you divide the, let's say it's 5 brothers. You divide the land into 6, as if there's 6 brothers there, and the B'chai is 2 people. He's a Pashut and a B'chai. So that's one we learn. The other way of learning is no. A B'chai gets 2/3 of the estate, and the rest of the brothers divide the remainder. And why would we even think that? Because there's only one brother. It's when the Torah talks about you only have 2 brothers there. What does the B'chai end up with? You divide the estate into 3. He gets 2/3. And the other one gets 1/3. So maybe we extrapolate from that. The same thing applies to no matter how many brothers there are. The B'chai gets what the Torah says. You like that? B'chai gets 2/3, and everyone else has to fight about the rest, the crumbs. Okay, so let's see. Tana Babylon. Lots of Pishnayim, Pishnayim ke'echad. It says you get double. You won't go. Tana Pishnayim ke'echad. Because that's what he gets. Like Pishnayim ke'echad. In other words, he only gets as many brothers there are. You just give him. He's like two brothers. That's all he is. He's like two brothers. Oh, yeah, no Pishnayim b'chol nechasim. Maybe 2/3. In fact, with Dinu, it makes sense. Cholkim echad, cholkim chamisha. He divides with one person to 5. Not cholkim. If he only divides with one person, Pishnayim ke'echad, he gets 2/3. So Av Cholkim Chamisha, Pishnayim Gechad, he gets 2/3, and the rest they divide. I Klachad means the other way. Cholkim Echad, Cholkim Hey. Ma Cholkim Echad, Pishnayim B'chol. Sorry, I made a mistake. The first way is that he's another brother. He said 2 brothers. So just like with one brother, he's 2, and therefore there's 3 brothers. He's Av Cholkim Chamisha, Pishnayim Gechad. Then the same thing is if you have 5 brothers, he's 2. That's all. I klach lezu cholkim echad ma cholkim echad Pishnayim b'chol nechasim. He gets 2/3. Av cholkim hey Pishnayim b'chol nechasim. He gets 2/3 of the total. Tamalayme v'hoya b'yayim hinchilas banav. The day that inherited children. It says banav plural. True, the Torah starts talking about achas ahuva, achas only 2 brothers, but then the Torah throws in the more children. I tell you, b'yayim hinchilas banav, you have to be mankel all your children. Everyone is entitled to an equal share. Lavas the b'chayit is 2 people. So don't go the second way that you want to give the b'chayit 2/3. Go the first way. He's only like 2 people. Just a few more lines. Finish the sugya. It says u'bnei Reuven b'chayit Yisrael, the children of Reuven b'chayit Yisrael. And later on in tomorrow's Gemara we'll learn all about Reuven's b'chayit, Yosef's b'chayit, and all that interesting much. Ubnei Reuven b'chayit Yisrael, Reuven b'chayit Yisrael, ki hu ha'b'chayit, because he is the b'chayit. But when he took the bed of his father, the bedroom, his b'chayda was given to Bnei Yosef, Ben Yisrael. Interesting. I have to mention. Okay, not that Yosef officially is the b'chayda. Only regarding the 2 portions. Ephraim and Menashe got 2 portions of the land. But, and Rachel was number 1, and Rachel was the other wife, and Rachel was the main one that he wanted to marry. It says Yehuda was the strongest among the brothers. Nagid Mimenu, and he was like the leader amongst them. And the b'chayda was given to Yosef. He's bringing all these psukim. And what do we see by Yosef? What's the b'chayda? Not that Yosef got equal to all the other brothers. Every brother got a piece of land, and he got 2 pieces of land. Over there was what? Just 2 people. That's all it is. Is in the future. It doesn't mean that B'chai gets 2/3. He gets 2 portions. Another ayah is Yaakov said that I gave a little extra piece to you. I gave you more than your brother. That's what that took me out of Moedi. Sword, my arrow. It says I didn't rely on my catches on my bow and arrow. My sword did not help me, says until him. So Yaakov did, daven, made all kinds of diplomacy. What do you know this thing? Maybe comes to tell you, like that if a father decides to give to one son to give Yosef everything and say he can. Tashma'u b'nei Reuben b'chai Yisrael. Says b'nei Reuben was a b'chai. He's still a b'chai. Maybe we don't learn a b'chai from b'chai Asai. Maybe we don't learn one from another. Tashma b'chai Yosef. And b'chai was given to Yosef. How do you know Yosef got like 2 people? Toshma, I'll give you 1 more than your brother. So clear, you're 2 people. Doesn't say how much you gave him extra. Maybe gave him you gave him a table bud, a palm tree. How do you know how much extra he gets? Now we learn B'chai from Yosef, and we know he gets more than the other brothers. I know you decide he gets a 1 portion. Maybe he gets 1 portion like everybody else, and a little extra, a sliver of land. It says Ephraim Menashe Kireuven v'Shimon Yili. What was the double portion of Yosef that Ephraim and Menashe got 2 pieces of land? And it says Kireuven and Shimon each exactly. So the 2 portions are 2 equal to everybody else. Okay, everyone have a good Yom Tif. We'll continue with Shabbos 9:30. I'll just tell you a quick word to Shemini Test. With my father. It's a long day. A long day. No, Beautiful Lord. The big machlek is the Gemara says that Shmini Atzeres is regular Natsal. We have a few times. Shana took a regular Natsal and Ian Pezek Kesher, right? The Gabi 16. So there's a whole big Akira or Yisai that explains everything, the whole shot, all the machlekes in there. Is Shmini Atzeres a continuation of Sukkot, but these are 6 exceptions, or is it a different yom tov altogether? And these six exceptions prove that's a different yom tov. In the nusach, we say Shmini Atzeres hachag hazeh. That means Shmini is part of Sukkot. What's hachag? That's Shmini Atzeres. Chag is Sukkot. The nusach Ashkenaz is chag Shmini Atzeres hazeh. It's a separate yom tov altogether. And then there's a third nusach, but that's generally how it is. Anyway, so if it's a separate yom tov, what is the yom tov? Parech. So what is the yom tov exactly? Yom tov is the inyan that Klal Yisrael is represented by one par. That means the inyan of achdus. That's what it's all about. Kosher like pridaschem. I don't like to eat separation from each other. Only b'achdus. So it said the Gemara says Hillel was asked. Sorry, this guy went to Shammai and says Lamdeni called regel achas. Shammai took us a massive binyan and he gave him a whack and he chased him out. Went to Hillel. Hillel says Madalach Sani lechavra v'savin either perushi. All about Abbas Yisrael. What do you mean? First of all, what do you mean perushi? Abbas Yisrael might be happy to you, but not l'chaveder. We made on mokim and what's going on? And what was the guy thinking in the first place? He sees Hillel spending a whole life learning, and this guy thought that he can stand on one foot and learn this whole trade that Hillel had. I mean, what was he thinking? It's like this. Guy came to Shammai. He says, "I understand Pesach, Sukkot. I understand every Yom Tov Shana. Oh, but tell me about this regel achas. It's not part of the Shalosh Regalim. It's a separate Yom Tov. What's this all about?" But Shammai misunderstood. And actually, my father gave up shot that I can't remember what he said. What that massive being, but Shammai did understand him, but he gave him whatever. So he chased him away. When he went to Hillel, he said, "Tell me what is Shmini Atzeres all about." Hillel understood. He said, "What is it about?" Abbas Yisrael. He didn't have to be.